Hey, mister. We're not doing that video anymore.
Oh, I can talk again.
No more ASMR
No
for
more
you.
ASMR for us. That was naughty.
And why was it naughty?
Don't know.
Right then. I've got to stop saying right then. I keep
Right
saying
then.
right then, and all
Okay,
it's
then.
going to be like a bloody slogan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hi guys, welcome to Whiteland Restorations. I hope you enjoyed our little quiet video last week.
It was so quiet. Shh, 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 shh. Probably needed to get your ears tested after that.
Sorry about
It's okay. It was
sound
fun.
of sanding.
It was something different.
Yes,
And
it was.
what we're doing today?
Today we're going to get this lovely car into primer. So we need to get the bonnet and doors off and finish prepping the shuts and little bits and bobs that I've missed. And mask it up and put primer on it. So let's get cracking.
Let's get on with it. Let's get these panels off.
Let's do it.
Usually, I can hold it up with my shoulder, but I can't lean in enough at the moment. Can you just choke quietly? There we go. In the middle. No, yeah. Hinge plates are out, and the door edge, there we go. And the door is away. Safety stall, that was good.
Safety stool.
Safety stall.
Now the panels are off and all the fixings are off and everything, and they were pretty ugly, and let alone the rust on the plates that were the sandwich plates. I don't know what they're called, strengthening, reinforcing plates.
Backing
That'll
plates.
do. So to start with, we're going to chuck them all in a pot of thinners, and that will strip all the paint whilst we're busy doing other things.
It'll do the job for
Look at
us.
it. We've only just had these things off. and
Literally
look at
just popped it in already. Oh god.
Look at it stripping that paint.
Mind you, the paint was peeling off anyway, but now it's melting off.
Once the thinners has done its job and taken the paint off, I will then put them in another pot of evapor rust. That'll take all the paint off, that'll take all the rust off, whilst we are busy doing other things. So basically, the chemicals will be working for us whilst we're working for someone else.
We're dipping, stripping the bolts.
We're dipping and stripping.
Next job.
I've got a couple of dents in the bonnet that need to be sorted. If you'd like to come and see them.
Yeah, I would.
Right, the filler on the bonnet. Although I did a lot of filler work here and a bit of filler work at the front, a couple of edges, obviously I didn't quite extend the filler far enough here. As you can see, where I've blocked the bonnet down, there's still a little bit of guide coat just to the left. So, and there.
That's why we do this though.
And here, I didn't put any filler.
Yeah.
There was quite a low spot, and I've not managed to be able to block that out, and I don't think I should block that out because I think there might be a bit of a wibble in the bonnet. So we're just going to put a tiny bit of filler in, and it's going to be extremely thin, very, very thin bit of filler.
Yeah, the last layer.
But it needs it, so we're going to do it. So let's do it.
Let's
I'm
do
going
it.
to mix up some filler. I'll key these bits up first.
Pop it on, smooth it out, ready for primer. You quite enjoyed that then, didn't you?
I did,
can
yeah.
tell.
Right, it doesn't matter that I'm digging in because I'm going to put filler in it. And this bit. And this bit.
It's the beauty guide coat. It guides the way.
Right away.
Oh, there you go. X marks the spot.
Right, I'll clean that down and then I'll be back with some filler.
Okay. I love raspberry ripple.
You do. You're into cherries at the minute.
Cherry, yeah.
A good name for our daughter.
You can't call our daughter after a craving during pregnancy, can you? La Cherry. Cherry.
Cherry.
Your close runner-up would be Milk.
Saff.
No! I told you that's wrong. Clevereth.
Right.
Okay. You might remember this from other episodes.
Yeah, sorry guys.
More filler.
I'm not going to use a big one. I'm not going to use my big filler spreader for this one. I'm just going to gently put a very thin skim in.
Super thin. I mean, there's hardly anything there. But
And I'll block it down later.
it's got to be perfect. It's the only way, isn't it?
And the same over here.
Let's also thanks to Lewis for waiting for me to get into position with the camera.
Well, that's okay. You're in the way now though. Ta-da! The filler is nice and dry now. We had a nice cup of tea whilst it was drying.
Lovely cup of tea it was.
Lovely cup of tea. So we're going to block it down now. We're going to need to be a bit more accurate. So we're going to use one of our own bulletproof blocks. And we're going to start with a bit of 80 just to take off the worst of the filler work. And then we'll go down to a bit of 180 for primer.
Lovely. Now, the beauty of these blocks is that there's little to no flex in them, so when you're standing a big flat panel like this, it is perfectly flat, isn't it?
This is exactly the kind of thing I wanted when we set out to designing blocks. Something rigid, easy to use, something for accuracy over speed.
Mm-hmm.
These have hit the spot so well. Made many of my own blocks over the years, and
These are the best.
this is where I've come to. And,
Yep.
I think they're great. I think they're great, but I might be biased. Not
Proof in the pudding, I'm afraid.
pudding.
Mm.
There we go. You can see very shallow bit of filler in there.
It's also super flat, super nice, and easy to keep flat. You weren't digging in because you had a nice
Yeah.
stiff block.
You don't have to laugh at that if you don't want to.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to.
Yeah, it went down very well. That's very good. Perfect. So
Same
I won't
again.
use, because these are smaller bits, I'm not going to use the 80 grit. I'm just going to stick with the 180 and just take the tops off. Start here with this tiny edge bit there. Sorry, I have to put mine. That's always walking.
Beautifully done.
There we go.
Super smooth.
Last one on the bonnet, and then we are pretty much done sanding the bonnet.
Can you just see?
Anything on there?
Yep, one bit there.
I'm just swapping down to the thinner, easier to handle. Just putting a nice round on the back of this bonnet.
Coming in for a check. Just there.
There we go. Let's sorted them out.
Done. That was super easy, super quick. Now this can be masked, ready for primer.
Right, so it's Monday here at the workshop now. It's been a weekend. That means it's Monday today. The primer fairies have been in and primed the panels. Can you see that from there?
Do you know what? I'm sure if I go like this, there's
Look
two
at that.
over there. Lovely.
Bloody, I don't know who did that. Someone snuck in here on the weekend, broke into my workshop, and primed my panels for me.
I love it when that happens.
Buggers. Right. Anyway, so we're just tidying up these shut lines today and ready for priming the shell. Maybe today, possibly more likely tomorrow. So we're just literally knocking back this bit of filler work in there, taking it off. This is a homemade block again.
Really important you don't neglect your shuts. So once we've got all of these shuts all nice and squared off and pretty, we will be moving on to primer.
Yeah.
Oh no, I jumped the gun. We have to remask the whole car again, don't we?
Yeah, there's lots of masking when you
Because
do
do you know what's under masking when you do spray filler?
No.
Hard edges.
Hard edges. Hard edges.
Let's have a look at these hard edges.
Let's go around to the other side. On second thoughts, we'll do this side because the lighting's better. So, if you see in here, you can see that I masked it up right on the very edge of the radius. And I've done that because, one, this stuff's really hard to sand, and especially in these awkward areas. You don't really need it in behind the windscreen rubber. This stuff is for shaping the car, not for shaping the shuts. So, yeah, you just want to stop right on the very edge of the radius here, and it makes it really easy to sand out, like I will demonstrate right now. Done.
Done. Look at that, nice and smooth.
So that's all you have to do. Peel the tape off, sand all that like that.
Nice smooth edge.
Nice smooth edge. It saves hours of having to sand into that tight 90 degree and then across.
And then risking your
hours.
windscreen not fitting.
And then whisking your windscreen not fitting.
Exactly, you're going to have a bad time.
I'm going to have a bad time.
So
that's that. And then obviously around all the radiuses of the car, these ones here, these are quite big radiuses.
Oh yeah, look, you can actually see how sharp that one is. So we'll just take all these off, do all the shuts, do all the radiuses.
Make sure all these are all nice and rounded off. No squares. If you leave it at this point at too much of a sharp edge and the primer over it, one, you're going to break through it with your primer, and then if you leave your primer at a sharp edge at the polishing stage, you're going to be more likely to sand through it and expose the primer as you're polishing.
Have a disaster.
Yeah, especially if you've got a light primer and a dark paint. Well, it's a disaster anyway. You don't want to polish through your edges.
No.
So just spend a bit of time. It doesn't take long. Just take that edge off.
It's the 5 Ps all over again.
5 Ps.
Perfect preparation prevents pitiful performance.
It certainly does. So yeah.
So we'll crack
Bit of
on with
sanding.
this, and then we'll get ready to put some primer on. We'll show you the products. We'll show you how to put them on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we'll sand it all over again.
Exactly.
Many times.
More sanding.
More sanding. Right. We'll be back in a bit.
Girl, probably jumped too many spaces, but you can't be replaced. You're a superstar, and I can feel you in my arms. Moving to a brand new song, the beat is pounding out my heart. Funky until it's gone, and I can say what we'll become. Baby, my obsession on. Am I insane? I'm delusional, baby.
We are ready for the last stage before paint.
That's it.
I don't know what that's about.
That's you getting closer to paint.
Yeah. Primer. It's been a journey.
It has. It's been fun.
It's been a journey. But we're all shaped up nicely. Chuck some primer on it now, and
Sand it all again. Many
Yeah.
times.
yeah, you thought it was bad sanding it for primer. 3 sets of sanding it down for paint work.
But
So
that's what makes it beautiful in the end. So it's worth it.
Yes, that is what makes it a good job.
It's worth
All
every fingerprint loss, so you can't sign in on your phone.
Yeah. I have one of those Google phones, so it doesn't work anyway.
Oh, it doesn't work anyway, does it? Here we go. Let's have a look around. I'm just going to walk around the car. Mast. Ready to primer.
Here we are in the mixing room. Anyway, Profix. We're going to be using some Profix primer on this beauty. I've never used it before, apart from when I put it on the doors and the panels. It seems very nice stuff. It goes off nicely. It's got a nice build to it. It sprays nicely.
It's all you can ask,
It's nice.
really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It says in the instructions you can apply directly to bare metal, and it bonds well to it. So I'm not going to worry about any of the rub-throughs that I've done. So we can just apply. Which
Get
is
it. Just
great
mix it
news.
up. What's the mix ratio on this one?
5 to 1.
5 to 1. A little
Yeah.
bit of thinners.
A little bit of thinners. I'm using my big jet because I want to get this done fast. So I'll be using, like I tested it out with the doors, and it's a 20% thinners. Works well with this gun for me. So
Check your own gun settings
Yeah.
if you're using it.
yeah, maybe if you've got a smaller jet, you probably want a bit more thinners. It is quite thick stuff. Good stuff.
Good. I'm looking forward to locking it down. Maybe.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. Shall I crack it open and
Crack it open.
crack it open? I can.
Oh, is it in any?
Yeah. We put the extraction on to get the fumes out. Make sure Leanne is safe. So this is the stuff. It is quite thick and lovely. Look at it.
Lovely and gloopy.
Very thick. It's good stuff.
So you get that mixed up in the gun and on the car.
Yeah.
You're killing every move and breaking all the rules, and your hips don't lie, making an offer I can't refuse. Damn, maybe the only thing I know about you's your name, so I'll wear it out, and one day you might wear mine through a ring. I know I may just be a face in the crowd that doesn't faze me. I